Should we deconstruct this loop a little bit? Y'all want to hear what's happening? Hell yeah, says Large Beard. Let's deconstruct, baby. Alright. Alright, let's deconstruct this sound. Let's work backwards and figure out what the heck's happening. There we go. So, as always, what's driving this sound is the loop in the boomerang. There's only one loop, and we'll get to it eventually. But I'm gonna go backwards through the pedals. So the last thing is the reverb, right? So I'm gonna start turning stuff off. So no reverb. We're getting drier now, you know? I'm gonna take it kind of slow. So less space around it, right? I'm gonna turn off the polymoon, so this is doing a little slapback-ish ping pong delay, stereo delay. So once I turn this off, we're gonna hear like mostly no stereo movement, except from microcosm maybe a little bit. So there's that off. So, and then coming back from there is the microcosm, which is in mosaic mode 4 at the slowest possible time. Repeats are at noon, activities at max, so it's doing the most movement but not sticking around for so long, I guess. So if I turn this off, we're going to remove some super high end and low end sounds. That's what's being generated by the microcosm. So now we get this. We get this now. You might be saying, wow, there's not a lot there. Why is there not a lot there? Well, I'll show you why. There's a bunch of, not a bunch, there's a few different filter sweeping things happening. And so yeah, actually, as I continue to go backwards, so iridium is here, and it's what's kind of making it sound all dirty, so I can turn it back and make it clean. Which isn't as fun, but, you know. So that's what iridium sounds like. But then going back from that, we're in the second matrise. And actually, the only thing outputting from the matrise is the mood and gen loss channel. And so basically what's happening is there's two things combining in this second matrise, and they're being summed and then sent through gen loss, which is doing a little bit of a high pass cut, so it's cutting some lows right there, but then it's sweeping a low pass. So that's what you're hearing right now, is this low pass sweeping, and if I make it sweep faster, you'll hear it go. Right. So I have it going really slow, but this is what it sounds like faster. So I'll make it slower again now. And so again, this knob here is the output of gen loss, but what I'm sending into it is this second column, and so what I'm sending is the dry signal, so the signal coming into matrise, as well as the blooper signal. But you say, well, what is in blooper? Okay, well, blooper is being sent the dry signal right here, and then it is doing a reverse pitch effect, but it's down a fifth instead of an octave, meaning what we get is the output from blooper is this. And if I turn gen loss off so it won't do the filter sweep, we can hear it more consistently. Maybe. So it's doing a reverse fifth down on blooper. And my hope there was to, like, since the loop I'm sending in is so simple, I'm trying to create some harmonies maybe, or whatever, to have the regular line be doing its thing, and then a line a fifth below, but then delayed behind it plays as well. So then it just, the way those end up lining up is interesting. So this is what Blooper's doing, but you should hear that there's another filter sweep happening as well. Because I have both modifiers on. The first one is doing the pitch thing, the fifth down. The second one is doing a filter, and then I'm ramping that. So again, if I make it go faster, you'll hear it. So it's like, basically it's saying, Blooper, you're doing some cool stuff, but I want you to cut it out every once in a while. Like, don't just, you know, don't give me everything always. Give it sometimes. I'll make it slower again. So then this is right here's the coolest part of this loop or whatever. Because what's happening in this matrice is we're taking the dry signal out of this, we're copying it, sending it to Blooper, bringing it a fifth down, and filter sweeping it. And then we're summing that back with the dry signal. So the dry signal back with the fifth down or whatever. And then we're summing those together, and then we're sweeping that whole thing. So gen loss is filter sweeping on the dry signal plus the dry signal being taken down a fifth and delayed a lot and filter swept, so not all of it gets through all the time. Does that make any sense? So if I turn this on and turn Blooper down and instead turn that output up, what we're hearing now is gen loss doing a low pass sweep on a sum of Blooper and the dry signal. Does that make sense? Y'all with me? Yeah, following. All right, cool. All right, so we made it. We're working backwards. We got the second matrice going, and then if we go back one more thing, we're at the capistan. This is in sound on sound mode. With the, here, I'll just turn on the dry output here. And so all it's doing, the repeats are at noon, meaning the loop is automatically gonna fade away. But this just serves to fill in any gaps in the loop. The 8-step, no, the 8-step is not involved right now, Josh. 8-step is still connected to Sunlight, but I'm not using it in this sound at the moment. But basically, without the capistan, you're just gonna get way less sound. You're gonna get big gaps like this. I mean, it's playing right now, but there's a lot of space. And so if you bring the capistan in and it's just looping, you just, it fills out the space more. That's all capistan is doing. And plus it's making the repeats very fluttery and dark. So that's that. And now you might be saying, wow, that's gotta be the original loop, right? It's so boring and dumb. But no, you're wrong. So I'll turn those down. So capistan loop is down. No output from this matrice. The dry signal sounds like this. So folks, I'm actually about to reveal to you the loop that's in the boomerang for the most part. So here it is. This is it. This is what's driving the entire thing. Ready? There we go. And actually, so this is an octave down. So the real loop sounds like this, like in terms of me actually, wait. Nope, I just reversed it on accident. There you go. So now it's at a normal, this is me playing. Have you ever heard any shredding like this, folks? Oh my God. Just shredding. And a bunch of gaps in the sound. So that's that. But so the one other thing that's happening here. So I'm gonna turn that down. I've been messing with Enzo a lot finally, and I am now in agreement with Mark Johnston that for my usage, it seems like the dry mode on an Enzo is where it's at. So, so what I did, so I brought this back down an octave. Check it out. The loop, so the original loop is down an octave, which means obviously we're going down in pitch, but we're whatever space was in the track is now doubled. Like there's more emptiness, right? So whatever. But so instead of that sound, so I took this octave down sound and then used Enzo to bring it back up an octave. Check this out. So what you essentially get is the same pitch range, but with, it's longer now. It's double time, but the same pitch. So this is Enzo at +1 octave on that. Right? Here, and then I'll start bringing everything back in now, since this is what's driving everything. Ready? So we're bringing the capistan back in. Now we fill in some more gaps in our loop. So you can hear the notes start colliding with itself, you know, which is cool. All right, so that's whatever. So then we do the thing in the second matrise where we sum blooper and the dry signal and then filter sweep it. So that here's this. Yeah, I'll post the tabs for this Cyberscoop. That's a Patreon only perk. The tabs for the loops. And actually, when I originally started the stream, I had Enzo up 2 octaves instead of 1, so let me go back to that. Yo, Anoop, thanks for following. You make it seem simple, but it's years of hard work. Yeah, which is very true, but the work of this is figuring out how to be simple. Like, that's the challenge, you know? And the coolest thing about all these filter sweeps and whatever is like, it serves to, and this is always what I'm trying to do, I think, it serves to, you know, make something that is definitely repetitive. Clearly this is repetitive, but it's also never the same, ever, you know? Where's Elmo? Elmo's sleeping. He had a hard, he went too hard yesterday. He's still hungover. Release tab as NFT. Oh my god. You need to learn how to read tab? You know how to read tab, Tony. Everyone knows how to read tab. It's just numbers. Elmo needs to show up for work. Elmo's taking a personal day. Hey, what's up, Steve? Steve, it's been a while. How are you? Now, why is pedal hidden?
Drink.
You got an expression ramper, Steve? Hell yeah. Is your mind exploding with possibilities? Okay, so let me finish this off first. Let me finish this explanation off first. All right, so we summed these two things out of this matrise together, right? Whatever. And then we go to the iridium, and like I had it, if we want to dirty it up, we can. Like this is kind of where I had it at first. So there's that, and then we bring the microcosm back, which is going to give us 2 octaves up and 2 octaves down on top of this. eventually we'll hear that. So those are those layers. And then we bring the polymoon back in for a little stereo goodness. Just a little bit. And then we bring the reverb back up. And now we're doing ambient, folks. That's it. You remember how that loop sounded? Remember how dumb it sounded? Now listen to this. Not bad, huh? Not bad, I don't think. Pretty cool.